someone to assist with our routine professionally, and allow us to devote our time to communicating with our closest people. If only we could get results without wasting our time for nothing. Unfortunately, it's impossible in real life. But wait, Liteforex social trading. Spend your time doing what really matters to you.
Hi, good evening. How are you doing, guys? It's 7:45 p.m. CET, meaning that within the next 15 minutes we are going to get the information in regards to the FOMC rate decision. Then within the next 45 minutes Powell will start his press conference. Before we will go and check the charts, let's have a look what we have in terms of the risk warning. Guys, please bear in mind, trading effects on margin, trading crypto on margin carries a high level of risk, may not be suitable for all investors who can sustain a loss of some or initial investment. So please do not invest the money that you cannot afford to lose. Seek education and experience before risking real money. However, past performance doesn't guarantee future results. All right. So where we are, just the friendly reminder here. Just the friendly reminder here, guys. One second. We do have two meetings tomorrow. We are going to start at 8 a.m. CET with pre-London live market coverage. So you are more than welcome to join me tomorrow morning. Then also 1:45 p.m. CET time. So 15 minutes ahead of the event, we are going to start to live coverage of the Bank of England rate decision. Pound is stronger, and we are going to start to discuss the pound, especially if you remember, for those who were yesterday. During the whole day educational webinar, we made very deep British pound analysis, and congratulations to all of you who took long pound yesterday without the drawdown from the intraday perspective. It was straight to the point. That was important with very tight stop. Now looks like we do have some kind of the midweek reversal here on the pound. That's very important thing. Now what is important, the price action from Monday, especially the one over here, right? It was some kind of the breakdown, so it was based drop. So the one of the setup we discussed yesterday. We also discussed some kind of the possibility of the manipulation. So in that case, we know where we are. In that case, the upper yellow band, it's a Monday high, and 25.87 plus weekly open. That's where we have possible demand from the pound perspective. I'm gonna make it that wide. And I'm going to place few lines for us to know exactly where we are. We don't need that one, and we need one over here in terms of this unfinished business is going to be retested. Actually, it was retested. So looks like from the pound perspective, we do have this midweek reversal. And one of the things, if you remember, today we were covering UK CPI live, and I mentioned that the data didn't disappoint. It wasn't bad, right? We were talking based on the last week few Bank of England members who were a little bit more hawkish than what some may expect. So in that case, the weakest shorts here on the cable been forced to cover. Right now we moved above weekly open and we are above Monday high. So the level over here, this big white yellow range, it should be actually from the manipulation point of view, it should be like this. But I'm taking into the consideration the Riley base, Riley in that case as well. So this base together with the weekly open, so it's a little bit wider. But anyway, any move to the downside to test this yellow zone, that might be the buying opportunity on cable here, right? So we are going to watch very carefully cable, especially from FOMC as well as Bank of England tomorrow perspective. And if bulls today are going to be able to hold the good level, the highs of the day towards the end of the day, so if we are going to get the very high close of the day, so from the daily perspective, it's gonna be nice surprise. And what is important here is that during the 1 day, suddenly with this quite nice turnover, we going back above this swing low, which has been broken on Monday, all right, as well as as well as we are above the previous swing low. So in that case, overall, that looks good. The only thing in that case bears might be aware of is the range from the 7th of June. From the 7th of June. That might be the key in case bulls want to make reversal based on the monthly chart. The range from that day might be the key. We are talking about the range from the 7th of June. Why it's so important, right? Because once we close below on the 13th of June, that was the confirmation that during that day, 7th of June, it was nothing else like short accumulation, right? That's something we are going to discuss deeply during the third webinar in the upcoming Tuesday, right? So you are more than welcome to join me again for the educational webinar. Now, in that case, we have to make some changes into the lines. What was the low? What was the open? 26.82. 26.82.9. 26.82.9. Okay, let's make it that way. So as you can see, we do have a blue line. So as you are aware, the blue line represents weekly chart. So we have 26.67, and then we have the bottom of that range as a supply, 26.82. That's the key from the bull's perspective, key zone, which has to be taken out to, I think, to make the significant changes on this British pound chart, right? We do have some kind of the swing low creation over here. We missed Monday low to retest Monday low, so yeah, we will see. Now, the thing is that we might see real reaction. Every time I'm reminding this stuff, because it's the late second part of the US session and we do have 2 hours to the New York close, right? Cash close. it might be that we are going to see more manipulation over the next 2 hours because of the lower liquidity, and the real reaction might be 12-24 hours later. Also, the big guys have to think what's going to be the takeaway from the Powell, because we are approaching end of the quarter, end of the first half of the year, so there is a possibility of some rebalancing, portfolio rebalancings, right? So it's very, very, very important here as well. All right, so we know what we are waiting for from the pound perspective, all right? And here on the pound, I'm looking only to buy the pound, meaning looking for dovish Fed, dovish FOMC, dovish Powell to have an opportunity to try to sell the pound, right? Now, euro dollar, it's completely opposite what we discussed yesterday. Still here, we are fighting just around the weekly open, right? So we are bouncing in between, let's say 1220, 1240 and 1180, right? Now, if you remember the discussion, the deep analysis of the euro dollar, we have a monthly open down towards 1180 as far as I remember, am I right? We do have a monthly open, yeah, sorry, 1160, and we do have quarterly open 1227. Very tight, very narrow range. So in that case, and because of yesterday Draghi comment, either we are going to stay inside the tight range, or with the hawkish Powell, with the hawkish FOMC, I might look to buy the dollar via euro. All right. So we know that we are going to watch euro dollar from the selling perspective, other words, buying dollar perspective, and British pound from the selling dollar perspective. One more comment in regards to the Canadian dollar. We are not going to monitor the Canadian dollar during this event, but we get very nice Canadian CPI number, and to be honest with you, it was surprise for me. And at the same time, the official EEA data was in favor of the oil bulls. So at the end, if we are going to get the dovish Fed, the Canadian dollar bulls here might try to take over as well. What we are fighting for is the zone, the yellow zone over here. That's the zone we broke through the significant daily demand after the better than expected Canadian job market data. We went to the downside, but then bulls managed to get back above this level. So right now we are fighting at this level. I'm very curious what's gonna be the next Bank of Canada step. It might be very, very interesting, but we are going to get back into the Canadian maybe tomorrow. Today, euro dollar, today, pound. So let's make it that way. Good luck to everyone. Let's have a look what we are going to get within the first market reaction within the next 30 seconds. In the background here to the right side, dollar yen, dollar Chinese yuan, and the Nasdaq, right? Because from the Nasdaq perspective, we are also testing very significant level, very significant possible supply. So good luck everyone. Let's have a look. I'm not gonna to react within the first 30 seconds. I wanna see what we are going to get, what's gonna be the first market comment. I'm pretty sure that if there is a real market move today, we are going to have an opportunity to join that party. So initial reaction is to the upside. I will try to put to the chat window few comments. So for now, on the euro dollar, we just retested this quarterly open. We are starting to build the upper shadow, similar with the pound, and the dollar yen is trying to recover. Just a friendly reminder, we have during the Tokyo session, we do have today we do have Bank of Japan. Okay, there is another wave of the dollar, selling coming in. And here is the information in the chat window. I'm looking for some comments in regards to the statement. $12.40 on the euro dollar, and pound is also trying to approach this weekly and daily zones. So there are the problems when we are talking about the euro dollar. But don't forget the yesterday comments from Draghi and counterattack from the Trump via Twitter. Monday high 1247 key. Bullard calls for 25 basis point cut, but everyone knows that he is a dove. All right, so market is trying to sell the dollar. Doesn't look good right now from the dollar yen perspective, as probably post non-farm payrolls low are gonna be in play. We have some stops, so market may look for that liquidity over here. So let's switch lower and let's watch this dollar yen as well, because right now depends on where we are going to get the 15 minutes close. But right now looks like 108.25 might be the first visible supply in that case. So looks like for today only Bullard was the member to vote for 25 basis point rate cut. So what we discussed earlier today, that Fed internally is gonna to monitor incoming data, but what is going on globally might be important here as well, right? Here's the full statement. And right now, euro dollar bulls are fighting at Monday high. Okay, so we should get some kinds of the answers soon. I do think that way. Depends on the close on the 30-minute chart. From the bulls perspective on euro dollar, we don't need any kind of the upper shadow ahead of the Powell's press conference, especially the shadow with the close below 1230. That's for sure. So there is a moment of truth on Nasdaq as well. Green dotted line, Monday high, quite important from midweek reversal perspective. We didn't get any kind of the pullback on pound. At least we didn't get yet. And that's the supply on the Nasdaq on this 5-minute chart over here, which has been tested yesterday, and we just retest that right now. And I'm talking about this particular candle over here. That's something we discussed over the course of the educational webinar yesterday. Something we are going to discuss during the upcoming educational webinar on Tuesday. If you do remember, hopefully you do, what I've said, we don't want to see upper shadows right ahead of the Powell press conference. And dollar bulls are trying to get back into the game. We'll see. So right now, where we have possible demands based on the FOMC, only FOMC, of course we have it here. On the euro dollar. And here on the pound. Let's have a look what we have with this breakout. That might be the case over here. This we don't need anymore. This we don't need anymore. For sure, we took out the stops from this yesterday consolidation. Yesterday and Monday consolidation, late Friday, ahead of the dovish Draghi. So we took out these stops over here right now. That's not gonna work that way. Let's get back to hourly for a second. So that's the Draghi manipulation point. So from the hourly chart perspective right now, from the hourly chart perspective, bulls cannot close below that zone. Let's skip upper shadow. Let's work with the body only. So from Draghi comment perspective yesterday, that's the line on the sun right here. In my humble opinion. $30 minutes. Looks like even better. It's even higher. 30 minutes manipulation zone. And if the bears are gonna be able to push the prices lower, we might see the weakest longs are gonna be forced to cover ahead of the New York close, and we might see the stop count even below non-farm payrolls. Even below this pre-FOMC demand zone here. That's gonna be interesting, but that's what you have to wait for, right? Because we are going to finish our meeting within the next 15-20 minutes. Don't forget what we were talking about euro dollar from the monthly and quarterly perspective. 1227, 1160, monthly open 1160, quarterly open 1227, and we are approaching end of the quarter, end of the month, and also end of the first half of the year. Looks a little bit better from the pound perspective. There is a plenty of space towards, we can see the pullback over the course of tomorrow, maybe some spike after the Bank of England, but the yellow zone over here, we have midweek reversal on the pound. Hello Mer, how you doing? So if FOMC was dovish, why we are not continuing to the upside, right? Intraday supply on Nasdaq working as well. Looks like at the end it might be Bank of Japan name of the game. ahead of the Bank of Japan rate decision. So one more time, trying to summarize. It was quite good at the very beginning, right after the decision for the euro-dollar bulls. But we are going below this manipulation zone we discussed a second ago, yesterday after Draghi, right? So that might be treated as a failure, right? Now, why I do think it's gonna be the failure? Because we do have liquidity pools here. We have to take out these stops probably before market will go higher. On the other hand, we have attempt to midweek reversal on the British pound. We hit possible supply, that's what we discussed earlier. And it's gonna be very interesting tomorrow from the Bank of England perspective. And you are more than welcome. Again, it's an invitation. You are more than welcome to join me tomorrow, 15 minutes ahead of the Bank of England announcement. We are going to cover this live as well. And it might be, I might not, it might happen I'm not gonna trade today because of this uncertainty I see on the chart right now, unless we are going to take out the high over here or something else happen. But based on the pound USD and euro USD, tomorrow around the Bank of England, I may try to trade euro pound instead of pound USD. Depends on what the real reaction on the dollar will be, right? Again, reminder, we might, today, it might be for the rest part of the day, we might see more manipulation towards end of the day. And the real reaction we might see tomorrow, maybe even day after, 12, 24 hours. So I might try shorts in case of the early close below 35.27. In case of the early close below these levels, I think market will immediately go and hunt the stops pre-FOMC consolidation. So that's gonna be some like 10-12 pips. But I think we might see even lower levels towards yesterday low and towards this liquidity zone over here. We are talking about the 3rd of January, 3rd of June, I'm sorry, 3rd of June. And we are talking about the 1160. Also, don't forget 1160 is a monthly open, right? So we may gun for this liquidity, then we might see some kind of the reversal, but you know, can we really see Euro rally after the Draghi comment yesterday? Only if the overall dollar sentiment will turn super negative, super dovish comments, I don't know what. That's why I do prefer, in case of selling dollar, I do prefer cable. But hey, we still have plenty of time towards the end of the hour. And that's gonna be the last hour of the US cash session. You don't wanna be trapped. You don't wanna be trapped. There are gonna be plenty of opportunities tomorrow, I do believe. And look, in case of the pound, in case of the overall strong dollar towards the end of the day and towards the Tokyo session, right? It might be a very nice setup, taking into the consideration just the easiest tool we can have. So we move initially higher after this decision, right? So taking the whole measure of the move to the upside after the breakdown, we should revisit this yellow buying zone on the pound. So there is no rush, there is no need to try to chase the prices here. And don't forget, Bank of Japan during the Tokyo session. All right, so that's it from me today. Unfortunately, I thought that we are going to see initially spike to the downside and there are gonna be buying opportunity on pound USD. It didn't happen. We saw initially dollar sell off. Now dollar is trying to recover. So in case we are going to get the close below 12.35, 12.27, I may try to take the advantage of this failure and try to short it. First target is gonna be the consolidation ahead of the FOMC, and the second is gonna be the stop count below yesterday low and the 3rd of June low monthly open. I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight, probably if then we are going to see it tomorrow or Friday. So that's it. We have some ideas. We are going to discuss it, what happened after our today's meeting. We are going to discuss it tomorrow morning at 8 AM CET when we are going to cover pre-London Open live, and then again we are going to cover Bank of England live as well here on Liteforex Global YouTube channel. You are more than welcome to join us. That's it from me. Have a great evening. Have a great rest of the day, wherever you are, and see you tomorrow again. Good night. Take care.